Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Ryan, Coop, and the Doc Show. I'm Ryan Corry, and I'm here with my two buddies, Arizona sports legend, Bruce Cooper, Arizona dental legend, Dr. Ken Snyder, and they just let me hang out with them, so I'm glad to be here. Guys, how are you?
Good.
I'm doing well. I'm here to make a mockery of that riddle you gave last week, but hey, that's still to come. I just want to throw that out there.
We are 12 seconds into the show, and we're already in Coop's
I
head.
had a tough time sleeping, guys. I mean, this is kind of nonsense that keeps me up and at night. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, we're going to help him.
I can't even kick back and enjoy a nice episode of Columbo. Because I mean, this stuff is just too much.
Are you trying to watch Columbo? Because when the Suns score 48 points in the first quarter, you got to turn that game off. It's already over.
No. Columbo helps me to try to figure out these lame brain riddles of yours. You know,
you have to give it this though. You got to go like this on your head.
I thought it's because the Suns are just jumping everyone, and you got nothing else to watch.
Oh, let me tell you something. The Phoenix Suns are off the hizzy, as they say. I mean, look.
They do say that.
They will have the number one seed and home court advantage throughout these playoffs. But I got a question having said that, I got a question for you guys. What will be the Suns' biggest roadblock to winning their first ever championship? Which team would that be? Is that a team in the West or a team in the East? And I want you to identify that team. Ryan, let's go with you first.
Man, I think it's the Nets. I mean, I think
the Nets in the East. Okay.
I think that's a bad team when they got everyone on that court. They got shooters. They got three different guys who can end the game with the ball in their hands. Plus, Seth Curry's just running around on that three-point line. He's one of the best shooters in the league this year. So I think that's a tough team. Obviously, Golden State's tough in the West, but there's really nothing else that I see.
Doc, how about you?
I would say the Nets or the Bucks. You know, the Bucks with the Greek Freak, they're still a force to be reckoned with. For some reason, Golden State doesn't faze me that much this year. I don't know. But the nice thing about the Suns, and of course injuries play into all this, you know, but the nice thing about the Suns, although, you know, Booker and Chris Paul and Ayton are like the big scorers, they really don't have to depend on any one person or two people like so many teams do, you know, and that's what appeals to me. Any given guy can get hot and carry the team.
Yeah, no question the Suns' depth is a team strength. But I will say this, with Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry all healthy again for the first time on the floor in like 4 years. I mean, you have to give Golden State, you know, its proper respect. But having said that, when it comes to the Suns maybe hoisting that Larry O'Brien trophy for the first time ever, I think their biggest roadblock is, like, I agree with Ryan, it's in the East with the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, they are just two spectacular people. And I do like the trade that brought them Ben Simmons. And Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. I mean, I think they are a formidable team. I know that they're not going to have home court advantage in most any series because they're going to finish outside of the top four in the East anyway. But it doesn't matter when you got that collection of stars there. I mean, I think that's the Suns' biggest roadblock. But I do like the Suns' chances.
I think that the Suns have a great chance, higher than any other team's probability to take down the Suns. Might just be who's healthy. Like as you move through the playoffs, who stays healthy? Because clearly that was a little bit of an issue last year for lots of teams, Suns included. But, you know, I'm with Coop. I like the chances this year. I think there's just a different chemistry that this group has, and it's like 9-10 guys deep.
Yeah.
One of the beautiful things about being at St. Vincent de Paul is Debbie. And the fact that we just keep working. Right now, we're getting ready for dinner. in our kitchen. We're still working up in our medical and dental clinics. We got our resource center open, and boy, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And one of those folks who really helps us get stuff done, we want to introduce you to him right now.
Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. sharp, and sometimes on Saturdays, Luciano Gonzalez starts his day at the loading dock.
I've been working here at St. Vincent de Paul for about 20 years. I'm just looking it over and make sure everything's okay before I head out. A friend of mine was working here and told me what a great organization it was. So I applied and see what they were about and took the tour, and yeah, 20 years later, here I am.
I got out of this IRA.
Luciano is a truck driver. He drives door to door, picking up scheduled donations.
Max low. Starts coming in, looking at your route, what you're gonna do today. Then go out to the dock, unload, bring everything into the store.
Thank you very much.
Grab your stuff,
God bless you.
get on the route. You might have anywhere between 15, 20 stops.
Appliances, furniture, clothes, shoes, bikes, you name it, Luciano loads it into the back of his truck. And no doubt, we're talking back-breaking work.
Yeah, there is some of the furniture is very heavy. You do get fatigue sometimes, especially the summertime. It gets really bad. Gets like maybe 20 degrees hotter in that truck. Yeah, you're pretty tired at the end of the day. You want a blue bin or you want the cardboard bin?
But the end of the day can also be rewarding.
Yeah, especially when you see like single mothers there with their kids, getting clothes, you know, buying some shoes, toys. That's what kept me here 20 years. Seeing people lined up in that dinner line when you're leaving is very rewarding. You know, you had a hand in that.
Well, I tell you, Luciano and all of those drivers, I mean, they put in some really back-breaking work and long hours. I mean, like Luciano was talking about, I can only imagine. When it gets to be 120, 115 during the summer, I mean, that truck, I mean, taking things in and out of that truck, it can really, really rise the temperature. But props to them. I mean, they do a tremendous job.
They do.
And
they really do.
They're a huge help to our mission, right? As they collect items, couple things happen, thrift stores obviously, but we have some great programs that put those items straight back in people's homes. If there's a family who's getting an apartment, if there's someone who comes in the dental clinic or the medical clinic that we identify as having some household needs, boom, those things are going right into people's homes to just help them live with dignity and to make their space really worthy of their family and their home. So Luciano, I was with Joel this morning out on a truck. We had some stuff to do in Scottsdale, and they work hard. Yeah. So big part of our mission here at St. Vincent de Paul. And you know, the other part of our mission, right? We got folks who are really doing the work, but there's people who need help too, and that's my favorite part of this show. And so, Doc, we got an adopt a patient, and we need your help.
Our patient today that we're asking for some help for her, great lady. She's 61 years old. She needs some repair of the front teeth, probably a replacement of the one in the front, and also some replacement of the back. She has quite a few cavities, and also needs some cleaning to get her gums and the bone that holds the teeth into good shape. And just a delightful person, just so appreciative. I mean, she gives everyone on the staff a hug each time she comes in. She gives little thank you notes and that, just so thankful.
Well, Doc, that's a number of teeth missing, even on the side. What would you do? Just like put
implants?
In, yeah, how would you do that?
Sometimes we can put in implants if there's enough bone there and so forth. Sometimes we actually make what we call a removable partial denture. It has little clasps on, and it'll snap in. And even if they're back teeth, I know you don't see them when you smile, but they're so important because in chewing your food and that, otherwise it just puts a lot of strain on your stomach.
Doc, that sounds pretty expensive. So I'm going to guess if someone went to a dentist practicing at his own office, let's say, I would say that's got to be around 16 grand.
Man, Coop and I are like on the same wavelength here. I'm going to say 14.5.
14.5. Actually, it comes out right around 15.
15?
Yeah. And I round them off, I have to tell you that.
Split the difference.
Yeah, split
All
the
right,
difference.
we're
But how about here
even.
at St. Vincent de Paul?
Oh, I get the
And
first
let me
guess
explain
here.
why it's different here, because first of all, we have labs and we have different materials that are donated or will give us a greatly reduced price. We have volunteer dentists or residents or students who do the work, so that's not an expense. So what would you guess here at St. Vincent de Paul we could get it down to?
Ryan, go first.
I'm going 1,800.
1,800 for Ryan. I'm going to do 1,500.
Split the difference, right? 1,650?
1,600, yeah.
All right, hey, we're getting good at this.
Yeah, you are.
And I'll tell you what.
That's a great savings.
That basically means that for the next series of work, Coop and I will do it. Coop and I will do it. We'll bring the price down even more, and we'll help out.
Well, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let me tell you something, because we're right up against tax time. $1,600 is two of our guests, two of our donors, two of you, anyone watching, making a tax credit contribution to St. Vincent de Paul. If you're filing jointly, you can give a qualifying charity up to $800 instead of paying the state. And you can give that straight to St. Vincent de Paul. You can help this patient. You can help any of the patients that come in. And boy, when you're talking about big work like this, those tax credit gifts add up really fast.
They do. They really do.
So
Yeah.
thank you for considering that, for jumping in and adopting that patient.
No brainer, right?
Yeah, no brainer, unlike the Riddles that we got for Coop.
All right. Now we got to get to this. Hey, look, I remember that riddle because it was so off it made no sense at all. Ryan had the unmitigated gall to try and suggest that it made sense. He said, "What 5-letter word, when you add to it, becomes shorter? 5-letter word that you add 2 letters to it, it becomes shorter." Look, like I told him, I'm no fool. I know that you can't add anything to something and it becomes shorter. So with that said, Ryan, what lame brain answer do you have?
What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
I'm telling you, there is no such answer.
The answer is short, because if you add ER, it becomes shorter.
And now you know the rest of the story.
That is, I'm telling you, that
my
is the
gosh.
most
Oh my
straightforward,
gosh.
logical
Oh my
question we've
God.
ever asked. There's no interpretation on that one.
Oh my God. You know what?
What word if you add 2
Darn it,
letters?
I'm gonna use that out in the field.
I got
That's a
one
good
for you.
one, right?
Okay, I got one for you. Can't miss. What word becomes longer when you add 2 letters to it?
All of them.
What letter becomes longer when I add two letters to it?
What word?
Long. I thought you'd pick up on that, Coop.
No, but you didn't say what 5-letter word.
Oh, okay.
You
A
said
4-letter word. See?
Hey, that was not today's riddle.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, long is 4 letters. Doctor, you got me all confused.
Not hard
All
to do.
right, yeah, it really
Okay,
is.
okay, all right.
I tell you what, I'm gonna flip something on you guys.
Okay.
That's weighing on me because I mean, look, I gotta admit I gotta give it up to you, Ryan. That was good.
All right.
That was good. I would not have gotten that one for sure, but it is good. I'm gonna use that out there too. I'm gonna use it out there, no doubt about it. All right, I have a sports topic for you guys here. We talked earlier about the
Hold
Phoenix-
on. Are you trying to avoid this week's riddle?
Oh, he is.
That was last week. Come
Oh.
on, everybody saw that.
Yeah.
I was starting to
Slick.
get text messages about Coop avoiding the riddle.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to do a math one this time instead of a spelling
a
one?
math? All right. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Make sure it's subtraction or addition.
Okay. if there are 3 apples
Okay.
and you take away 2,
Oh, there's one apple.
how
left.
many apples do you have?
If there are 3 apples and I take away 2, I have 1 apple. No, I have 2 apples.
No! Yes,
I
yes,
have 2 apples.
yes. Coop has 2 apples.
People out there, I want you to know something. It doesn't take me long for my genius or brilliance to come out, to come pouring out. That was
I think there were only like 2 possible answers to that question. He said them both, but he settled on the right one. And you know what? Normally we're not supposed to react, and we're just supposed to wait until next week to tell you if you were right or wrong. But we could not contain ourselves on that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you
yes,
can
yes.
triumphantly go in
All right.
to your sports question.
Okay. You know, this one kind of has a little something to it that's kind of been weighing on me a little bit. It goes back to our Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, with the baseball season starting up, and we know that the lockout finally ended, but the Diamondbacks were such an atrocious team a year ago. I still remember 162 games. They won 52 and lost 110. You know what I'm saying? 52 wins, 110 losses. I mean, I'd expect that out of our expansion year, and we did better than that, our expansion year. So my question is, what did you feel, or what do you feel, what position, what area that the team needs to improve in the most to actually become competitive? Because they were not even competitive last year. What area of the team? Was it pitching? Was it the bullpen? Was it the defense? Was it the offense? I mean, what area do you think the Diamondbacks need to dramatically improve in to change their fortunes? And we're not even talking about anything other than just becoming competitive.
Wow, I think every area, to be honest. That's
Well,
the
you gotta
easy
pick
answer.
one. You gotta pick one, Doc.
But if you can get a frontline pitcher, supposedly then you're going to win one out of every 4 games at least. But there again, if you don't have the hitting support or you don't have the defense, even a frontline pitcher can, not come up with a lot of wins. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a quick fix. I think they're going to have to start.
But you got to start somewhere, Doc. Where do
Yeah.
you start to make this team turn it around from a 52 and 110 loss team to at least start turning it back the other way?
And the problem is, if you spend a lot of your payroll on 1 or 2 players, you're still not going to go anywhere. So I guess if I had to pick somewhere, I'd go with a frontline pitcher.
Okay, how about you, Ryan?
I was at a lot of games last year. Watching,
man.
Yeah.
watching that offense
Yeah.
was painful. And look, there were a lot of injuries to the pitching staff. I just want to see a healthy. They can come back with the same guys. I want to see that staff healthy. I think they're okay. I think that's a serviceable pitching staff. But I'll tell you what.
What's going to turn it around for him, Ryan? What area?
You gotta hit. You gotta hit.
Ryan says the offense. You know what? I watched a lot of the Diamondback games myself, and there were too many times they went into the 7th, 8th, 9th innings with a lead only
Yeah.
to blow it. And granted, a lot of times that we saw the defense just can't even execute a simple pop fly just over the infield and just in front of the outfield. So they couldn't execute that a lot. And but I'm going to say relief pitching. They have to be able to shut it down, close it down.
Yeah.
And I think if they're able to improve in that area, I think we'll see a dramatic swing in terms of at least being competitive based on what we saw last year.
And to Ryan's credit, as far as fans coming back into the stadium, I think hitting offense is what drives fans that come down and watch a game.
Oh, sure, offense.
But there's a lot of areas. I mean, I don't know where, I don't think it's a quick fix,
Well, like I said, if you can maintain the leads that you have in late innings, your one-loss record is going to improve dramatically. I mean, I think the Diamondbacks, I think they had over 40 blown saves last year.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
I was at a lot of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of coming into the late innings and closing it down, Doc, what's in the mailbag today?
Okay, let's see what we have today. Woo. Still got some of the trail dust on this thing here. I don't know.
Doc's
Let's see
mailbag
here.
has a letter
Oh,
from.
this is an interesting question. People ask me this a lot. Let me start out by saying, let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, let's get
because
ready.
in
Boxing.
the Octagon today, we have floss and toothbrush versus water pick.
Oh, so this is not really a Michael Buffer thing, right?
No, well, it kind of is. It's a buff your teeth with it, I guess you could say, yeah. But so a lot of people say, Doc, I have a water pick. Do I really need to, brush and floss, or is a water pick enough? And actually, the gold standard of oral hygiene is still the brush and the floss. A water pick can be very helpful. And for those who don't know what a water pick is, it's kind of a pulsating, cleaning your teeth device. It's similar, like if you were to, like have a sprinkler, stand out in the sprinklers or something. It has that pulsating, and it shoots water, and it cleans. And it actually is helpful, like to your gums and keeping it clean, and even food that gets stuck up in the vestibule and that, and cleaning it all out. And it will drive some stuff in between your teeth out. But still, floss is the gold standard. Now, a lot of times people say, Doc, floss, it always gets caught between my teeth. It's just very annoying. You can actually use waxed floss, which is, if you look for it in a drugstore, has wax on it, and it'll slide in and slide out.
Look, not that I want to wish bad on anyone, or that misery enjoys company, but listening to that, I'm gonna tell you something, Doc. It doesn't matter if I'm eating like meat or something like that. It invariably gets caught on my lower left bottom tooth down here, and I always either have to use a toothpick or the floss to get it. It only happens down on here. Doc, why is that? Nowhere else.
Okay, chances are you probably have what's called an open contact, where the teeth, normally they'll butt up against each other, and sometimes if there's just a teeny little space there, food, especially meat, celery, different things like that will get trapped in there, But again, if you use the floss and get in there, and they do have a thing called Stimudents, which is very similar to a toothpick, but not quite as sharp, where you won't do damage to your gum. It's more kind of like triangular, like a little wooden wedge, and you can go in there and kind of stimulate it a little bit and get it out of there. But again, the floss and brushing are the gold standard. And then other things, as far as your oral hygiene, avoiding snacks, sugar, getting products like toothpaste in it that have fluoride in it will strengthen the enamel of your teeth. And obviously, a big no-no is tobacco. Any type of tobacco product is just going to do damage not only to your teeth, but the gum tissues, and can even lead to cancer. So we want to be careful of that. But brushing and flossing, numero uno.
I got it. Well, Doc, sounds good. Like I said, I either have to avoid eating meat, or I have to go with the. I guess
Only one option.
I know. I got to have a toothpick or floss.
Well, and that is the best way. Where, if you're
True to your teeth, they won't be false to you.
and clean your vestibule. Thanks, everybody.